Man, I've got those TRXs on the brain lately, man. Uh, I did look at a 22 Raptor 37 edition in the bright orange last night and today. But man, that TRX is tempting. They have an FDE one over there in Daytona Beach. I was gonna take a drive down tomorrow and take a look at it, just to go see it in person. Because I mean, the color itself, it looks really light, almost like a Krylon khaki, where once you paint it out, it's like really light colored cream as opposed to more of a khaki brown. So I'm not sure if I love the color. It's cool. I guess with blackout tints, maybe. But it doesn't matter. It's 100 grand, like 101. I can't afford it. Even if I got 90 for my truck, which I probably wouldn't even get that. I think all in invested the MSRP plus the wheels and tires and the 2.5 inch leveling kit. That came to like 93, 94 ish. Most I could probably expect for a trade offer, even in a good trade in market, is I'm thinking 82 to 85. So you'd end up having to finance like 20 grand because once you factor in the tax and all that, you'd still be paying like 450 a month. But I keep going back and forth. I don't know if I want to hold on to a diesel and pay the 300-400 bucks for oil changes, and I kind of miss having a rumbly exhaust. And it's not a fast truck. It's a different animal. I mean, I test drove it and I was underwhelmed then. And I thought about it, went back and forth, and I was like, well, I've never had a diesel. Let's give it a shot. But I mean, it gets up and goes. Don't get me wrong. It's not a slouch. It's not a supercharged TRX either, or even a Raptor. But that's not its purpose. And I get that, and it's so I keep going back and forth in my mind. I was like, man, do I want to strike while the iron's hot, while the market on the sales and trade-ins are high? Keep going back and forth looking at them things. Oh well, the guy can dream. That's what I wanted before I bought this truck, and I couldnn't find one. And the one I did find was a base model, and they were like 120 miles away. And I was like, ah. So I did the instant gratification thing, but I also made a mistake. I had been talking to so many dealers going back and forth on TRXs that there was another one in Florida that was within 20, 30 miles, I think, of that one Beck. That I was convinced they had one on the lot. I thought it was the black base model with a few options. I was going to look at it and test drive it. When I finally drove all the way out there, 45, 50, it was 45 or 50 minutes away. When I got there, I realized it was the wrong dealer. They didn't have a TRX on the lot. And don't forget, we're trading in two vehicles, the Challenger and the F-150. So this is all really involved, and it gets to the point. And I was thinking about a diesel a while back. I've always wanted one. My cousin Jason had several. My uncle Greg had several. They're good all-around utilitarian vehicles that can pretty much do anything that you need a truck to do, and then some. But it's not a 700 horsepower beast off-roading truck, The last time I owned a supercharged vehicle was 2003 when I bought that '03 Lightning. I had a black Lightning. I remember I traded in my '02 Mustang GT with the Steeda package on it. At the time, what was that truck? I forget what I paid for that truck. This is '03. I want to say it was 39,000, 40 something. I mean, this is back then where you can get a fully loaded Mustang GT Deluxe for like 24. It wasn't the premium, it was the one in the middle. I had a black Mustang GT '02. It was a decent car, fun. It needed more power. I did all the Mac Pro chamber, custom Flowmaster exhaust shit on it, a few Steeda parts, the Triac shifter. I was gonna start putting mods into it when I came across the Lightning, and I was like, man, that's cool. And it was just a little rocket ship. I remember after I got that, I threw my credit card. That was not long after I bought my townhouse. And when I bought my townhouse, my credit rating exploded because you just bought a property, right? And I was young and stupid, so I end up at the local stereo install shop, and I pulled up, and I was like, all right, we got to do a custom system in this truck, and I want to go. So I ended up putting thousands of dollars, and we did. Was it 210s or 212s? What brand did I go with? Either Kicker or JL Audio or something. Cut a nice deck. I put a $1,000 Clifford alarm system. I put the underbody LEDs or whatever they were back then that changed colors and shit. I did a Batman logo that had the Knight Rider thing, and I put that right in front of the mirror behind the windshield, and I had them drill 2 blue LEDs. I wish I had pictures of that truck. This is back before even camera phones were a big thing. I think I would have taken some pictures of it, but I never did. It's a shame. I had 2 blue LEDs drilled into the headlights, so when you hit the lock on the truck, the windows rolled up. The underbody lights are to glow blue or whatever color you set it on. It was like a breathing thing, you know. You could change the different settings. It would flash or whatever, but I had like breathe blue or whatever color. And then the windows roll up simultaneously. The alarm Knight Rider thing is going, and the 2 headlights would flash blue. I remember, God knows how much money I spent on that. Shit tons. But I was a kid in a candy store with his first cool vehicle, and fuck it. And I just bought my new house, and I had a decent job, and I was, started dating a chick I thought was cool. Life was good. I went down the street one night within 2-3 weeks of getting all this done. And there was a kid at the gas station. He could have been 15. I pull up, I step out, I hit lock, windows roll up, everything starts doing its shit. Truck thing is breathing blue and red and fire. The kid he's like, that's the coolest truck I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, thanks, bud. Felt good, I have something cool. The truck itself was fantastic for a while. Now, I was working in Miami at the time. This is way back. So I was driving a good 45, 50 miles each way in rush hour traffic, stop and go traffic. Back then, I think peak gas prices when I owned that for Super, which is what you had to run, were about $4.25, $4.50-ish. So they were up there. And that thing drank gasoline like a starving camel in Africa. So basically, the gas started to cost a lot more than I had perceived it was going to cost. I didn't think about it. I just did it. But I was filling that tank up at least twice a week. I forget what the tank capacity. I don't think it was a 36 or even a 32. It might have been 26. But 2.5 tanks a week, when you're making 27 to 30 grand a year, on top of a $475, $500 payment, $550, plus insurance, plus your townhouse payment, and then your power and your utilities and your this and your that. I ran out of money real quick. And even then, I stretched it, made it last. I was eating like a pauper, buying shit, ramen noodle, whatever. It didn't matter. Mom would hook me up every once in a while. She said, come over to my house, I'll make you a real meal. I was like, oh, sweet. And I go to her house, and she'd pack up these garbage bags, not garbage bags, but like Publix bags with like, here's some frozen food I bought you, take this home, that kind of shit. And it did that for a while. Enjoyed the truck. Every time you hit the gas, it wasn't a lot, but for back then it was 385 horsepower, I think it was. It was a single cab F-150 with the SVT suspension. Had a haunch to it. The thing handled great for a truck. And every time you hit that gas, that supercharger whine is addictive. and it would kind of lurch back a bit and take off like a fucking roller coaster. So of course, every time you're getting on an on ramp on the highway, passing at a red light, you just floored it, and that thing just went shoo. I mean, it was exhilarating. I've never ridden in a TRX. I imagine it feels like that times three. Then again, it is a much larger truck. And eventually I remember I had a few potholes in Miami on South Beach a few times. This is when I started having fights with a girlfriend, and crazy drama ensued. I won't get into that. And then all of a sudden the truck started to pull hard to the right. So overnight I hit a few potholes. And I'm not talking gradually, where you let go of the wheel and it kind of veers a bit into the right lane on the highway. I'm talking let go of the wheel and it pulled like this, where you had to physically almost start to fight it, and it was exhausting, right? So I ended up taking it to 3 separate dealers, one dealer twice. Each time I explained the problem, I paid for an alignment. They said it was all squared away. I drive it down the road. Within a couple days, it came back. I brought it back again. Said it's not aligned, it's still doing it. So they looked at it again, checked it, gave it to me. It was a bit better, but not much. And within like a week or two, it was pulling hard again. Did this at 2 other dealers. And then I started saying, this is a warranty issue, something wrong here. So after 3 dealers on 5 separate attempts to fix it, they just couldn't fix it. So I was dealing with high gas prices. By then, I was broken up with the crazy girlfriend. And all the shit was going bad. Father had died. Did that happen when Dad died? No, this is 07. It was in 03. No, it might have been. Not sure if I had that or the Nissan Titan when he croaked. Or maybe the Challenger. No, because that was a 2011. He died in 07. So anyway, the truck, so I got to the point, I was like, you know what? I can't afford this truck. I was paying out of the ass for it. Gas was killing me. And now it's not even an enjoyable experience because it keeps pulling hard to the right, and I'm arguing with dealers, and I got to the point where I couldn't afford it, and I was like, fuck it. And at that point, I said, let me buy something affordable. That has a low payment, that gets good gas mileage. So I ended up getting a Scion TC. Don't ask me why. I thought it was a cool little car for what it was, with the glass roof, and I traded it in. They saw us coming. The next day, they had my truck up on the thing at the front of the dealer with the big bow on it. I think it was gone within a week. I went back almost a week later to pick up my floor mats for the Scion, and it was gone already. I think they made like a 7, 8, 9 grand profit on it. So that's the last time I had a performance vehicle, until I got the Challenger, which was kind of a performance car. It was the first of its kind. Well, I had a 2011. I think they came out in 09, but it was the first 392, year of the first 392, so it had good power. And that was the car I felt like a rock star in, that I loved for 10 years. So then after that, I got rid of it. I got this diesel, which is a nice truck, but it's not that rock star vehicle, It's a pimp-ass ride, I ain't gonna lie, it's nice. But it's not exhilarating at all. It feels big, heavy, and sluggish. And I kind of regret not holding out and trying to find a TRX. So that's why I'm still got my eyes on them. And I'm like, well, maybe you should just go for it, Life's too short to be driving boring vehicles. Not that I don't love my truck, I do, but I kind of want something more performance-minded. I don't drive a shit ton. I know that could change in a heartbeat within 6 months. I could have a job somewhere that makes me want to have to drive a lot. So getting something like the TRX might be something I regret, but they hold the resale value. I looked at the Raptor. I was like, well, maybe that's a good alternative. That new 22, the 37s, or even the 35s. It's a nice truck. My cousin had one, a Super Cab. He loved his. He still kind of regrets getting rid of his Raptor. The interior is really nice. I was looking at it's fat. It's a V6, but it, broken in, you're getting 2.5 times the mileage you are on a T-Rex, right? They did nice work on the 22's exhaust notes. You got 5 different settings, or actually sounds pretty decent for a V6. It's got 450 horsepower, 500 plus feet-pound of torque. Tow rating is only like 8,500 compared to like 16,000 on my truck, but I'm not towing fuck all. What do I care? So a lot of the things that this diesel can do, I'm not utilizing them. You know, so that's why I'm kind of mulling over. This truck just broke 2,000 miles. It's in pristine condition. I haven't smoked in it. A quick wash. I have a feeling I could, in this market, I could probably get close to a TRX or a Raptor with just an even swap. So, or close to that, right? So that's what's on my mind lately. Not guns, not gun parts. Taking a break from that. Focus on performance trucks. So yeah. All right. Peace.